Today we're going to be talking about tax abatement agreements. These are programs that cities and other governmental entities provide to businesses that choose to locate in their communities. Now, cities don't always provide these type of programs, but it's something that you need to ask for. In this case, it's a 10-year tax abatement that was provided to TE Products that promised to build products terminals of a value of over $170 million. For the city of Port Arthur, they wanted these products terminals located in the city, and specifically what they were looking for was employment. The construction jobs, over $170 million in construction jobs. That's a lot for Port Arthur residents, Port Arthur companies, and for Port Arthur retailers. Now we're going to be going over the basic provisions of the agreement, and this program is designed for my business law class and the students therein. Thank you and enjoy the video. Hi, this is Mark Sokolow, and today we're going to look at tax abatement agreements, and particularly the tax abatement agreement that was entered into between TE Products Pipeline Company and the City of Port Arthur. This video is a part of a presentations that I'm making to assist my students in business law. Now, this tax abatement agreement was approved by resolution number 07-358 by the City of Port Arthur's City Council on July 31st, 2007. It involves the planned construction of a $191 million products terminal. So the first document that you see is really the cover sheet that was approved by the City Council of Port Arthur. And you can see these documents by simply going to the City of Port Arthur website and looking at resolution number 07-358. Now we're solely going through the we're going to the actual tax abatement agreement that was attached to the resolution. As you can tell, the top of the agreement is titled Tax Abatement Agreement, and it's made between the City of Port Arthur and TE Products Pipeline Company. And of course, in the preamble, we tell why we're doing this is to create job opportunities in the City of Port Arthur. And you'll quickly find out there's approximately $191 million of construction that's going to be involved. And this tax abatement agreement, it's really asking the company to hire as many Port Arthur residents or Port Arthur companies as possible. And that's a major inducement in this agreement. So when you look at the preamble, it talks about the creation of job opportunities in the City of Port Arthur and how they want to attract major investment into the city. Now, TE Products is agreeing that the improvements will be designed and constructed to meet all applicable federal, state, and local regulations, including environmental regulations. The abatement is going to be applicable to the new improvements that are going to be built thereon, specifically the product terminals. The company is promising that it will create at least 2 permanent employees within the zone, not later than 3 years from the start of the abatement period. Obviously, 2 permanent employees by itself is not as much of an inducement for a city to enter into a tax abatement agreement. But as you go through this agreement, you'll see that a major impetus for the city to enter into it was the promises of TE Products to hire Port Arthur residents or hire Port Arthur companies. They will allow the city's employees to have access to the property to review any safety or security concerns. If requested orally in writing by the company, the city's fire department shall provide backup fire suppression support, but of course TE Products shall abide by and take reasonable cautions as to prevent fires, explosions, and chemical releases. The company shall employ or provide sufficient primary fire suppression response, as well as control and abate chemical releases. And if there is a fire and the city is requested to provide initial and primary fire suppression services, or if a cleanup is required, the company will pay to the city the cost thereof. They're also supposed to notify the police chief, fire chief, the emergency management coordinator of all fire, serious injuries, deaths, chemical releases, and flooding that occur at the site. So, of course, the city is concerned about safety. They want it to be built in a proper manner. Want to make certain that the police chief, fire chief is notified of any hazards. And in this clause right here, when hiring, the company shall continue to seek qualified applicants by advertising in the official newspaper of the city, as to give Port Arthur residents a fair opportunity to apply for employment with the company for work at the facility. The company shall use its reasonable good faith efforts to hire qualified Port Arthur residents at market rates for both construction work and permanent jobs. Reasonable good faith efforts shall include advertising for construction and permanent jobs in the local market, including local radio stations, the Workforce Commission, the Mars State College, the local schools, the NAACP, local labor unions. The company shall also give Port Arthur companies a fair opportunity to sell goods and services to the company. So you're looking at really an opportunity for local workers, local companies, and local retailers to obtain a portion of the $191+ million of construction dollars that's going to be coming as part of this facility. The company is supposed to have a local hiring facility in the city of Port Arthur, and all employees, as well as contracting construction workers, be paid at least their prevailing wage. The company is supposed to certify the commencement and completion date of the contemplated improvements and give reports as to the number of Port Arthur residents, minorities, and companies hired. That's right here. We expect the company to participate in the local Port Arthur Industrial Group and to assist in the establishment of apprenticeship, internship, and or education programs and projects for the training of Port Arthur residents for permanent jobs in the Port Arthur area. The company also agrees to request and encourage its contractors and subcontractors to work toward establishing and funding their own apprenticeship, internship, and education programs and projects for the training of Port Arthur residents. One of the major goals of the city was to obtain employment for its residents and for its companies. The city reserved the right to hire or contract for monitors to inspect the company's records and hiring practices. Now, in terms of abatement, it's a 10-year abatement, but it's partial. For the first 2 years, they get 100% tax abatement. But of course, they're in the middle of constructing the facility. In the 3rd year, they get 90% abatement. And then it winds down in the 7th through the 10th year, they get 50% abatement. The company also agrees that will not request that the local appraisal district be lowered or revised without first consulting with the city of Port Arthur and that they agree that the minimum assessed value shall be as delineated in the schedule as attached as Exhibit 3. In other words, we want to make certain that during the period of this agreement that there will at least be a minimum assessed value on the property. And of course, we expect them to comply with state and local regulations. Here's a standard notice provision where if there's any notices to be sent, you put down the addresses of the company and also of the city. And of course, here's the signature lines. And in fact, this products terminal was built in the city of Port Arthur.